Hey guys, it's Diana. How is everybody doing? Are you guys all ready for Christmas? I'm hoping that I'm almost ready for Christmas. Um, Sorry about that. Um, got a few more things. Those stocking stuffer things are always, you know, you just keep picking up little things and little things and little things. And then guys are so hard to buy little things for. And I've got a couple son-in-laws, so it's crazy. Um, Let me close this. And hi, Becky. Great. I'm so glad you're here to stamp along. Hopefully, you have all of your supplies ready. Um, just a few quick things before we get started. If you're not a demonstrator, just a reminder that we do have Celebration and a new mini catalog coming up. There's also some clearance rack items, and some last chance items. So make sure that you go online um, and check out those bargains that you can get right now before they are gone, because especially on the clearance rack and the last chance, once they're gone, they're gone. They're not coming back. So yikes. So hopefully everybody's ready for Christmas. I did do mine card tonight as a Christmas card. I thought it would be a great last minute. I mean, we still have time to get a few cards in the mail. I'm sure you can get a few done, get them out in the mail tomorrow or Wednesday, and they'll still get them. Or you could use this idea with any cool DSP. So it'll be great for Valentine's or spring when it comes. I know we're looking at some awful, awful weather coming up in Kansas. Yikes. It's going to get cold and blizzardy, and I'm not ready. I am not ready. So, how's the weather like where you guys are? Hopefully it's better. I don't know. It's supposed to get really, really nasty here. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside so we can go ahead and get started. I'm just going to show you the supplies that I'm using tonight according to our clue. So I went ahead and just used white, but you can use colored cardstock for your card base. But like I said, once you see the pattern, you might want to do this again several times. So I've used a white, so 7 by 4 1/4. I have cardstock the same color as the card base, which is my white, 4 1/4 by 2 3/4, and same color or coordinating. So this could be a coordinating color depending on your DSP. I did go ahead and just keep with the white theme. I have a scrap for stamping, and you can see I've already stamped it. I've got some designer series paper, 4 by 1 1/4, 4 by 2, and 4 by 2 1/2. All different but coordinating colors. And remember, our DSP, you can use either side. I've got my paper trimmer here. I also have the Simply Scored, but I have my paper trimmer, which is what I usually grab for. I love the Simply Scored. It's just that it's big and it sits away from my desk. Otherwise, I mean, if I'm scoring a lot of things, I love my Simply Scored. So that's my favorite go-to. But when I'm sitting at my stamp desk, for some reason, I'm just always grabbing for my paper trimmer with the scoring blade on it. So stamp set with greeting. I am using this stamp set tonight. Like I said, I'm still in the holiday spirit. I'm going to use the Christmas cheer and probably the little leaf guy. So that's my stamp set with my greeting. And then also a greeting for the inside if you would like. Stamp pads. I am using these, of course. And dies, punches, snips. I've got the coordinating dies for that stamp set, yes. I've got my liquid glue. I've got some dimensionals, and I've got some ribbon to go with it. I guess I didn't add embellishments. Guys, you have to embellish. Sorry. This should say embellishments at the very bottom because you have to bling it out. I mean, my favorite color is sparkly, so you know you got to bling it out. So, okay, let's go ahead and set this off to the side, get them out of the way so we can get on with our stamping. I think you guys like it when I keep them short and simple. So I'm going to go ahead and continue on with that theme, short and simple. Cards do not have to be extravagant. They are just handmade and they are beautiful, and you are your own worst critic. So don't give yourself a hard time. If you do something wrong, just flip it over, stamp on the other side, or send it anyway, or cover it with an embellishment. That's why I love card making so much, is because it's so forgiving. Okay, I'm going to move my keyboard out of the way because I don't have to type anything right now. And I'm going to go to, are you ready? We're going to go to clue number 2, which is somewhere where I forgot where I put them. Okay, I found it. Oh my goodness, that would be good if I just had to wing it. Okay, so let's not wing it. Let's go with clue number 2. Okay, clue number 2, scored the card base that measures 7 by 4 1/4 at 5 1/2. Okay, so that's just saying that this big piece that we had, the 7 by 4 1/4, and we're going to score it at 5 1/2. Here's my little measuring tool that my husband created for me that I love. And I'm just going to score. Make sure you get that cutting blade out of the way. Score. And now we have that line scored. So whatever you're using to score that at 5 1/2. And I think we're done with the scoring tool and the cutting tool right now. Does everything look okay? Hopefully, I know it's not really centered very well. I don't know. Hopefully in the new year, you guys, I'll learn some new techniques and get more versed in online stuff so that I can be more professional with you. But hopefully you don't mind the non-professionalism because the ideas and the tips and the tricks are still there. So hopefully you can get a little bit out of it. Okay, let's see. Everybody should have clue number 2 done. That doesn't take very long to do. Oh, I forgot a drink. Dang it. Okay, so here we got clue number 3. So adhere the DSP that measures 4 by 2 to the cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 2 1/4. So we're going to set that aside. So it's asking us, okay, so the cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 2 1/4, okay, and the DSP that measures 4 by 2, okay. So we've got those. And it says to adhere them. So I'm going to take my liquid glue because that's my fave. And it's time to decide which side we want. I'm going to use this side because I like the stripes. Remember, less is more with adhesive. And you're just going to adhere those together. Oh, dang it. I'm sorry. I'm messing everything up. It's a tad blurry. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me see if I can adjust the lighting. Maybe the lighting is the problem. There we go. See if that helps at all, Becky. Okay. Okay, so we've done step number 3. Adhere the piece that measures 4 by 2 to the cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 2 1/4. Okay. So we've got that done. Everybody got those figured out, hopefully. Okay, let's go on to clue number 4. I try to keep these pretty simple, but still really cool ideas that I love. And I'll show you where I got this idea from later. Clue number 4, add designer series paper that measures 4 by 4 1/4 to the short flap. That should not say 4 by 4 1/4. it should say, hold on just a second. You have one that is the DSP that is 4 by 1 1/4. So this is a typo. This should be 4 by 1 1/4. Okay. So you have that little skinny piece of DSP. Okay. You have that little skinny piece. Sorry about that. I thought I double checked everything and obviously I did not. So we're going to set this over to the side and I'm going to, so adhere this little piece 4 by 1 1/4 to the short flap of the card base you just scored. So it's telling me that I just scored this. I'm going to go ahead and fold it so I can see the score line a little bit better. Okay. And it's telling me to adhere this to the flap. So that would be the flap. So, and I have to again decide which side I want. And I'm kind of in a stripey mood today. So let's stripe it out. Come on, there you go. Okay. So let's add this. That's why I love the liquid glue too, is because I can move it all around before it actually sets. But then once it's set, it's good. Okay, sorry about that typo. Hopefully that lighting cleared things up. Okay, so now we've got that going on. Okay. What DSP are you guys using? I would love to hear what DSP you're using, because I think that's what sets the tone of this card, is what DSP. Okay, clue number 5. Add designer series paper that measures 4 by 2 1/4 to the colored cardstock or your same color cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 2 1/4. So we're setting this aside. So we're assembling our pieces. So these two pieces, so this could be a different color. So you may have a different color cardstock, but it's just asking us to adhere this piece to this piece. And I'm going to go ahead and use this color, this side, since we've already used that other side on this piece. So I'm just going to go ahead. What do you guys buy for adult male children? I'd never had sons, but now I have 2 sons as sons-in-laws. And, you know, it's just hard to buy for them. I mean, it is. Girls are so much easier. I mean, makeup and hair stuff and bath stuff. And I mean, come on, it's just so much easier. Okay, so now we've stuck that together. The hardest part is deciding which side you want to use, huh? Okay, so let's set that aside. Let's go on to clue number 6. Hopefully you're hanging in. Hopefully you're hanging in there. We're going to go on to clue number 6. I'll pull it down just a little bit more. That way maybe it won't be blurry on the edges. Okay, so stamp sentiment on basic white scrap and stamp image around if needed, or stamp and punch die cut image for layering. Okay, so what that's just saying is we're going to set these pieces aside and we're going to stamp here. I'm going to start with my greeting. Let's see here. Is this going to be long enough? You can see I'm going to use this die. So whether you're going to use a die or a punch, or see if it's going to be big enough sideways. Yep, it'll be big enough. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my greeting. And I'm going to do my greeting in red. So we're just kind of stamping the tag part here. Okay, I'm going to stamp that in red. And I'm just going to, because this is going to feel a little bit empty, I'm just going to add that leaf. So this little guy. So I'm just going to add some greenery there. And then I'm just going to show you a real quick tip. If your blocks get dirty, I buy these little alcohol prep pads. Like you can get like 100 for $1, especially at the dollar store. And you just use your prep pads to just clean off the extra ink and stuff off your blocks. And if you have like extra adhesive or something like that, It gets all the oil off here. Now, ideally, I would remove the stamp and clean the whole block, but I'm not going to do that right now because I don't have my cleanup pad. But I'll clean these up. See, like there's ink there on the bottom of my thing. So you just take your little alcohol pad, clean that all off, get all the oil and stuff off of it, all the adhesive, sticky stuff. So keep a little box of these sterile alcohol swabs by your stamping desk. Oh, favored flowers. Nice. Oh, hey, Margie. Glad you joined us. Hopefully you can rewind or go back and start from the beginning. Or I'm going to actually link this to my Facebook so you can look at it anytime. So for right now, just watch along. You use those alcohol pads too? Great. Great. Okay, so it's also telling us to go ahead and punch or die cut the image. So I've just got my little mini here. And I'm just going to set this. I will give you another tip. I was having trouble with my mini. And I went ahead. It wasn't pulling the things through very well. It wasn't catching so that to pull it through. So I got new cutting plates. So there's your tip. So if you have a mini or something that's not working very well for you, try to get new cutting plates. And it did help me a lot. So here's my tag that we just punched out. So I thought something was wrong with my mini, but it wasn't wrong with my mini. It was just that my cutting plates were just too warped and worn, and it wasn't, it was having a hard time catching on those, but now it works perfectly. So there's a tip for you. Just go ahead and get some new cutting plates. And it's probably the same for the big one too. I will watch it. Oh, you're not feeling well. I'm so sorry. I hope you get feeling better before Christmas, because that's a bummer. What a bummer to be said. I know there's a lot of stuff going around, but yeah, you can stamp it anytime later. Sorry, now I got it all crooked. I'm gonna have to tape this thing down. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so we got everything punched or die cut, stamped. Hopefully you're cruising right along. Here's number 7. Adhere the layer piece that measures 4 1/4 by 2 1/4 onto small flap on the card base. This can be centered or offset to the right. Only apply adhesive to the top. Okay, so we have our card base, and we have our 4 1/4 by 2 1/4, which is the smaller piece, and it's wanting us to adhere it to the flap, and it can be centered or it can be offset, and only apply adhesive to the top. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive up here. Well, thanks for tuning in, Margie, even though you're not feeling well. Boo. I'm just going to go ahead and adhere that. I'm going to do it offset a little bit, but once you see the finished project, you can decide if you want to center it or offset it. I think both would be really cute. Okay, so I've got that centered, or centered. I've got that offset, stuck down, and now it's kind of created this little flappy thing. Sorry, I forgot to bring a drink of water. Oh, this is a long clue. Okay, so clue number 8. Position the layer piece that measures, this is a layer piece that measures 4 1/4 by 2 3/4 along the bottom of the card base. This is our card base. Apply adhesive to the bottom only of the flap you just created in clue 6 and close down onto the layer piece. Okay, so we're going to align this to the bottom of the card base. Okay, and I'm just using my finger to line it up at the bottom. Apply adhesive to the bottom only of the flap we just created. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive right here, which would kind of be the bottom. Okay, a little bit. Make sure this is lined up. And I'm going to put this down, close down the layer. Okay, let that glue adhere. And now we have kind of a little flap. Let's see if this is centered, because I can see these dots over here aren't really lining up. There we go. Oh, that made it a little bit crooked that way though. Huh. Okay, well, there. That doesn't look too bad. It's a little off, but not too bad. Okay, now you could put a little more adhesive under here, except for, you know, excuse me, just on here. My allergies are really bad. You'd think once everything froze, allergies would get better, and they don't. Sometimes they get worse. It's ridiculous. Okay, so now we have our little flap that created here. That's pretty cool. I love that. Look at that. Isn't that fun? How fun is that? I think you guys could probably take it from here and make a better card than I have. Okay. Clue number 9, add greeting and stamped images onto the front of your card. Okay, so this would be my greeting. I'm going to go ahead before I do that. I've got this little tag thing, so I'm going to add a little bit of ribbon to mine before I adhere it. So if you have a tag or something that you want to add embellishment to, go ahead and do it now before you get it. And this is just the soft polyester ribbon. Isn't that pretty? Very soft and pliable. So I'm just going to take that and pull it up through the back like that. And then I'm just going to cut some little tails here. Sorry, don't want to get too far out of reach for you, but it's kind of hard to do when you're way out in front of me. Okay, so there, I've just added kind of my little embellishment to my tag real quick. And then it's add the greeting and stamped images onto the front of the card. So this is kind of where you can be creative. And I'm using dimensionals, maybe, if I can find them, because however organized you are, something's always hiding from you. Oh, it's right in front of me. Duh. Okay. So I'm going to use dimensionals. So I'm going to use this to hold my ribbon down, first of all. Okay. And there we go. And then just figure out where you want to place it. You can place it over, hanging over the flap. You can place it like wherever you would like. It can go down here. It can go over here. You can position it wherever you would like. I'm just going to check my dimensionals though, because I don't want them to hang over here. But I'm going to put it like right here, because I kind of like that it's hanging out over the side there. Isn't that cute? How fun is that? So simple. So simple. And then if you wanted to have other embellishments, like you wanted to, because this leaf has a die, you could cut out leaves and you could put extra leaves around it. Or you could, you know, do it up way more. Clue 10, stamp sentiment on the inside under the bottom flap, if available. So if you wanted to stamp a greeting, you could do it under right down here. I'm not going to take the time to do it right now because we're almost at 30 minutes. And so if you wanted to stamp your greeting, you could do it right under this flap right here. So that would be where you would do your writing. You could also stamp a couple more of your leaves under here. That would be pretty, along with your greeting. And on your envelope, don't forget, never a naked envelope. So there's that. And the last clue is embellish. And I'm just going to go ahead and show you the finished one so we can get on. I know that it's the holiday season, but this is a great, great card idea. So here's the one that I finished. You can kind of see I did them opposites. So it's kind of cool. And I added some embellishments, of course, some bling bling. And then here's your greeting. Isn't that cool? And just to kind of show you where I got the idea, this was sent to me by my wonderful friend Teresa. And this was the card that she sent me for Thanksgiving. Isn't that cool? See how different it looks with the different DSP? And she used the stitch circle, which is a little bit different than what I did in her embellishments. Isn't that fun? Yes, I know, Becky, you have allergies bad too. I'm so sorry. But what do you guys think? I cannot wait to see what you do with this pattern and the different DSPs that we have coming out and seeing your projects. You can text or email them to me, or I'm going to go ahead and put a link on Facebook and you can post them on Facebook. That way everyone can see them. But I love it when you share. So, okay, you guys, have a very, very, very Merry coming up in January. So stay tuned. I'm going to try to do some different things. My friends kind of use Zoom, which would give me access to 2 different cameras. That might be kind of nice. So I'm going to try for you. I'm going to try. Okay, thanks, guys. Very Merry Christmas to everyone. And I can't wait to see your samples. Please send them. Bye-bye.